Am Maverick R. We're going to install the brand new COM Rotary Encoder. Some people refer to them as rockers, but this is a rotary encoder that goes in a rocker switch slot. And let's get into it. First thing you want to do is remove that little T27, because that's where the radio is going to go. Get your bracket out from underneath the radio. And then you'll want to find this screw that's in your parts bag. So that's going to replace that T27. It's going to help hold the bracket on. You want to find this little sticky, and what you're going to do is take some scissors and cut a little strip so it fits right here. We want that strip to fit right there. And then we're going to take this that will replace the T27. It's going to go up through here and attach to the factory mount. We're going to take this little faceplate screw or tap screw, and it's going to go through the plastic and fit right there to mount the radio. Cut it. It should fit just nice. I'm going to peel the back side on here, stick it to this, and then we need to go clean the machine plastic really good and pull the red portion off to attach it to the machine. You want to clean the mating surface for that bracket, and also whichever place you're going to put the rocker. I'm just going to put it in this one, so I want to clean up everything really good so the surfaces are clean for it to stick well. So I just kind of dry started it. I haven't taken the sticky part off yet, but I'm about to. But you'll want to position that so it's about halfway. That'll be about the right location for it to be. And then you can kind of see where the sticky will be. It'll be up just like that. You just tighten the screw up. Doesn't have to be super tight. And then we're going to put one more, that little faceplate screw or that little tap screw right in right there. Just like that. Inside your box, your parts bag, you'll find some black screws. These black screws go in the side of the bracket. Don't over tighten these. Most of the time I just use a screwdriver, which you can get to screwdriver on this side. Actually that side I'm gonna have to have an opening wrench. 7mm opening wrench on this one. Even though our cords are shielded and extra thick ABS coating on there, I always loom everything going through an install just for that extra layer of protection. You never know when it's going to be riding next to something. We ride in really rough conditions, and that way you know you got that extra level of protection. It's time to take the passenger seat so we can get to the power on the side here. Move this passenger seat all the way back. If you lift up here, you can get down into these. You can see it down there. It's a 19mm, and they're torqued really, really tight. So you can be prepared to have a 1/2-inch driver on you. And these are two 13mm, and then the seat comes out. So this should just lift right up and out, pops out, just held in by some clips. So you need to take the front panel out first, and it's a little bit of a fight. You got to get this. You got to get the push pin that's clear down at this end. Here's the push pin right there. It goes in right there. You can see it's very at the back. Get that push pin out, and then you got to flex it and pull it around this cup holder to get it out. And it's tucked up inside here pretty good, so just be careful when you're doing it. Pull it out, and then it reveals this T27 right here. Loosen that T27, and this panel comes off. Customer wanted a hole mount attached to it, but we're going to put it on the plastic, so I'm not going to need this cinch strap. And what I'm going to do is take the little sticky that comes with it and put it to the back, and then we'll put a faceplate or a tap screw in there to hold it in place. Set wire comes out of the, I drilled a hole for it, goes up underneath here. I had a lot of extra because these are 12 footers, and he wanted the double barrel connectors. And I drilled another hole that came out here and put a couple P-clips. That's where the double barrel is. I got a headset connected into it right now. Middle rocker switch panel that was blank, and I'm going to put the push to talk in it. So I'm just going to drill this center 1/2 inch hole so my push to talk fits inside of it. There was some bracing or plastic in there. I just took the side cuts and cut it out so it'd fit what didn't get drilled out. And then there's the finished product, so I can put it back in. So this is the little sticker that actually came for the hand mic. But since we don't ever put the hand mic on when you're using the headsets, because it opens up the mic when you hit the push to talk, and that hand mic doesn't have a noise canceling, so it introduces a lot of noise in there. But we cut this. And here's what's left of the red sticker from that we used for the radio bracket. Make sure the tray's cleaned out really good where your sticky's going to go. And I'm just going to stick it down. Stick it down, press and hold for about 30 seconds. Those are automotive, that red stuff is the automotive bonding, and the white one for the speakers, very similar to that same stuff. So it's best to just press and hold it for about 30 seconds. Again, make sure your tray is really clean, no oils, no dirt, no nothing. So I use the 1¼ inch grabber, and make sure you fill underneath the tray. So on the other side it's open, and I'll show you. Make sure there's nothing underneath there, which there's nothing under here. All the pipes and stuff are on the other side for the radiator and stuff. But you only want to just barely grab into the plastic. You don't want to be punching super far through. That's why we only give you an 1¼ inch. This is an 1 inch gap between it, so you should have about a 1/4 inch. It should just barely penetrate. So here's the tray. Make sure there's nothing under there. See how it's clear? You can barely see the tip of the screw back there. You want to make sure that that's all you got. And then with the stickies and that screw, it's held pretty tight. Power. And if you ever have to disconnect these, you just lift up on this lever nut, and it'll release the wire. But I ran the power right here down over to the power block. So you want to look for the one that says ACC, which is the top one. That's your power. And then the ground is down here. You see it right there. And just release these. Those are 10mm nuts. Back the 10mm nut. Put the terminal on there and put the nut back on. So ACC's on top, ground's on bottom. Bottom of your tray is your power wire for your radio. You get that out. What we're going to do is we're going to cut the cigarette lighter portion off and loom this power and run it up over the steering wheel. So cut this off. Strip the wires. And then I'm going to loom it. Just plug the T connector in, and we're just going to run it so it doesn't interfere with the steering wheel or the power steering and stuff. So we're just going to run it up over. There's actually a bar up in there that we can zip tie to and get it back down to the intercom. So yeah, see it's already got the black wires in it. It's the 5 one. It's got 5 lever nuts. Yeah, if you ever need to lift, you just lift these up to put them in or take them out. This is the power wire for the radio. Put this in. And this all I need. We got an extra slot here for the 5. I give it a little tug to make sure it's in. The 2 one is that's the power coming in. This one with 3 with the blue wire, that's our clean power. So that's the noise filter power coming in. This is the intercom wire that's already in it. And then I'm just going to put the red wire for the radio. Put this down. Now I can reconnect my battery ground and test it to make sure it powers up. Now I'm going to loom the rocker switch. Last little bit is fine because it's going to get coiled up at the end anyway, so I just like to loom the parts that are going to rub. Now we're just going to feed this through. Again, make sure this is really clean. I'm just going to peel this. And I just break it. And just make sure you got the right side up. It's a little snug. And then press and hold for about 30 seconds. I'm going to do the same thing with this lead for the rocker switch. We're just going to go up over the steering wheel, same with the power, and get it plugged into the intercom. This is the 6-foot cord with the 2 mil ends with the silver on it. This is your jumper wire. This goes in the back of the radio. It looks like a headset icon. And then this goes in the back of your intercom. It doesn't matter which direction it goes or which end. But we're going to loom this with the rocker switch since they're in the same location and go into the same location. So I'm just going to feed this. I'm going to plug it in first and then feed it into the loom. Okay, like I said, the silver one, this is the jumper wire. It goes in the radio port. And this one is off of the rotary encoder. It goes to this side port where it was plugged into before you guys unplugged it. The coax wire I've pre-measured from here to the back corner where I'm probably going to, or the C-pillar where I'm going to put it, is 10 feet. 10-footer should work great. I fished a wire fish in this corner over here. Stuck it out over here. The antenna wire, and mine was a 10-footer. Down here. Down along there, and underneath there, and it goes between this kick panel and comes out up there. Now I had to really fight to get it through here. Even though I wire fished it, I had to come up underneath this hole right here. It was this hole. I had to come up here with my pry tool and pry on it, the plastic, just to get the coax to go, the PL259 connector to get past a certain pinch point inside here. And I was able to finally get it, but it was a big fight. And if I had to do it again, even though I hate putting a coax down next to power, I just go down the tunnel and see if you can get a good signal. So if you're doing this or watching this video, probably order a 15-foot for a 2-seater, go down the tunnel, and then come out and up and over and try to put it in the same location. So I'd come down, go over, down, kind of parallel to that wire, into the tunnel, around and over, and up to the radio. Or the other option is, if you can get these rivets. So I did this late and I couldn't get the rivets in time. That's why I didn't drill that out, so I could kind of pry or pop this panel enough to get it out. So if you're going to do it, make sure you have these Can Am rivets to replace that rivet, because you got to drill the rivet out to get it. And if you drilled that rivet out and took these 2 screws out, you could probably have enough room to not fight it as much as I did to get the coax down and use the 10-footer, because this, other than that fight, this was a really slick, easy move to get the coax and the antenna, and I'm getting really good numbers the antenna test. So it's a perfect location other than that one fight right there. Okay, with it on, Preston holds this thing, make sure it's down there. This is perfect location. Without any headsets connected, I push the push to talk button and it's down at 0.